It's a life that you just love. The scenery is brilliant, the climate, the distinct 4 seasons that we get, the mountains around us, fishing, shooting, hunting, everything that's available. It's a wonderful place.
I love the people. Yeah, I love the area and the lifestyle that you get to live around here. You'd struggle to live the lifestyle that we have anywhere else in the world.
It's about the people, it's about the place, and it's about the history. I mean, we've got a really proud history of agriculture and farming.
Born and bred here and never moved. Yeah, I moved across the river, across one side of the Clutha to the other, so gone a long way.
I love working in this catchment because the farmers and the community are really passionate about their catchment. It's really heartening to work with a community that love their area and really come together and help each other.
It's such a fantastic part of the country. I love living in this valley. It's a fantastic place to live. It does throw some curveballs at you, and I definitely didn't expect to be dairy farming here, which has been a whole new challenge in itself. Part of our conversion to dairy was being more efficient with our water use through the irrigation. Over many years have slowly been upgrading our irrigation infrastructure. It means that we're able to use our water far more wisely and cover a far larger area and reduce our nutrient runoff, which is a really important part of it. We all know that water, especially pure New Zealand water, is such a precious resource. And so using it really wisely is really important to us.
I'm originally from Manuherekia Island, so coming to Central Otago was a little bit of a culture shock. Part of it is the extremes in the climate. Coming from the North Island, the climate doesn't have those type of extremes other than the rain. And as we all know, Central Otago doesn't suffer from too much rain.
The biggest challenge would be water. Central Otago's liquid gold. We need water, we need it on a regular basis, and we need to know that it's guaranteed.
It's actually really a desert here where we're growing it, and we need this water, otherwise it's not actually possible. Our annual rainfall is just nowhere near enough water to do anything with. If you haven't got regular supply of water, the trees on this ground here, they would just die. Central Otago, it's quite unique for cherry growing. It's hot and it's dry, and it does grow very good cherries in the world, really.
Central Otago in general is excellent for stone fruit and pip fruit, and the climate has quite a big diurnal variation, day to night time temperatures, which gives quality fruit, both pip fruit and stone fruit. So it's ideal growing conditions for the crops that we're growing.
Viticulture is not for the faint-hearted. It's taken us right outside our comfort zone. Alexandra Basin, we're cooler than other sub-regions of Central Otago. We have cooler nights, so we have cooler nights which retains the acidity and the freshness in the fruit and in the wine. And so we have lovely aromatics and elegance in our Pinot Noir, which is a climate factor. But we also have hot, dry climate, so we have like 1.6 metres of evaporation, transpiration each year. Technically, we're a desert. Without water, we would have nothing. This block didn't have an irrigation allocation from the Manuherekia scheme, but the other block did. So we share that allocation across the 2 blocks, and without that, we would have nothing. Irrigation, I've always given advice to people if they're looking at buying an orchard or buying some land, check out if it's got an irrigation allocation. If it hasn't, it's not worth anything.
We are very lucky with our irrigation scheme that we do find out at the beginning of the season what our water quota is, and that's for the whole season, so it doesn't change. So we are very lucky in that respect. But yes, it's definitely still something that you don't take for granted, and you do want to use as wisely and to the best that you can.
It gives us reliability of feed, and also the reliability enables us to make sure the stock are fattened well and truly before the winter.
Well, I think for business people, like not knowing whether you can invest, not knowing where you stand, that's quite difficult. That's not just here for farmers either, you know, businesses like mine, if you're thinking about growth and what's happening next, is that going to be how's the water going to affect that? Agriculture's a massive, massive part of our business, and a lot of that is driven by irrigation. Yeah, I'd hate to think how many less employees we'd have if it wasn't for irrigation.
Putting irrigation on has meant a huge financial investment for us, and it's completely changed how we look at farming. We needed to make sure that our water that we were using was efficiently being used, and so in order to do that we've actually invested, and we're really proud of what we've done here. We feel as good stewards of the land and also of the creeks, etc. We needed to make sure that what was happening on our patch, on our property, is correct. There's lots of things that we're monitoring at the moment just to make sure that we're getting the best out of it. All the little initiatives that people are doing on farm is really significant. They're looking after the ground, they're making sure that the farming practices are suitable to make sure that waterways aren't affected. And these are things that are going on behind closed doors that people don't even know about. It's the stuff that's unspoken that's really, really important, and it is actually going on. For us, it's vitally important to make sure that there's always water going down those streams. And if we need to manage stock movements and things like that, we always will, just to make sure there is water going down those streams.
The farmers in this catchment, it's amazing, they're really passionate about water quality and looking after the native fish. And so 4 years ago they got together with the wider community. The wetland has become a really positive influence. People have become really passionate about what could they do in their own backyard. And so by creating this, we're putting some habitat back that has been lost a long time ago, and hopefully we can create more of these throughout the catchment. We really look forward and hope that the community will come on board and help us with bird monitoring, water quality monitoring, predator control. We'd like to see it as an amazing community resource that everyone can enjoy.
This is really what I've done for the last 45 years, I suppose. So I think a lot of it's about making good use of the land, growing healthy food to feed people.
It is just such a great climate to live in and environment and the people, so no need to move. Yeah.
The environmental part of it is so important, and that's where we as farmers have such an important role to look after the water and the soil and the land, and be really proud of what we have and what we're doing every day, and we're very lucky to be able to do that. Like it's quite an honour.
I'm really proud of what our catchment is doing. We get a lot of, opposition to some of the things that go on as far as farming and agriculture is concerned, but I think actually we're out here, we're on the ground, we're doing it, we believe in what we're doing, and we're using good science. I think we should hold our heads up and be really proud of what we're doing here, because it is really good stuff.